Ladies and gentlemen, signore e signori, welcome back to the fifth match of the day of the European Nations Cup. It's Ireland against Italy. Let me introduce you the referees. The center referee, Mika Valsten. The assistant referee, Rémi Simon. The second assistant referee, Nico Balin. The fourth official, Clément Bertolou. And the teams for Ireland, number 3, the captain, Emer O'Sullivan. With number 6, Sean Donegal. Number 7, Tom Donegal. Number 9, Matt Crowley. Number 10, Aoife McNichol. Number 11, Neglis Monvillas. Number 12, Liam Lynch. And the head coach, Adam Crowell, and his assistants, Daniel Gilbert and Andy Carr. And Italy, with number 10, the captain, Simone Ranzato. Number 3, Gabriele Torcutti. Number 7, Gabriel Mindru. Number 8, Gabriele Zoggia. Number 11, Youssef Ali. Number 13, Giovanni Bernabé Capra. Number 16, Emiliano Bartoluzzi. Number 18, Irene Infantino. And the head coach, Marco Ferrazza. His assistants, Carlo Impera, Michele Cicciarelli, Marco Rossellini, and the team manager, Fabio Rodo. All right, everyone, get ready and have fun. I'm gonna head over to Ryan and Greg at the streaming. Thank you very much.
Welcome back as day 3 of the 2025 EPFA Nations Cup continues, and all eyes are on a clash that could prove pivotal in Group B. The Republic of Ireland against Italy. The stakes are clear. A semi-final place and World Cup qualification hang in the balance, and both nations know just how vital this result could be. Italy have been one of the great stories of this competition, making their debut at a major tournament. They've played with the confidence and organisation of seasoned contenders. That world-class grounding in power chair hockey has given them a tactical sharpness and discipline that has translated superbly into power chair football. A 2-0 win over Denmark in their opener turned heads, and pushing England all the way in a narrow 2-1 defeat proved they can go toe-to-toe with the very best, with captain Simone Ranzato marshalling the court, Gabriel Mindru and Giovanni Bernabé Capra both fearless at both ends, and Emiliano Bortoluzzi, arguably the unsung hero, earning plaudits in goal. Italy are no longer just the host. They've arrived as a genuine force. Ireland come into this match with their own sense of purpose. The memories of Sydney back in 2023, where they finished bottom, still linger, but this is a squad determined to put that behind them. A narrow loss to Denmark in their first match showed they could compete, and they've backed that up with a gritty 1-0 victory over Scotland. It wasn't pretty, but it was crucial, keeping their campaign alive and reminding everyone of their resilience. Under Adam Crowell, who was assistant coach when England lifted the trophy in 2019, Ireland have the tactical expertise to stay organised and find a way through. And then there's the wider picture. England have already booked their place in the semi-finals, but behind them, 3 nations are locked on 3 points each. Italy, Denmark and Ireland. This afternoon, someone will step forward and seize control of that race for second. For Italy, victory would make them favourites to progress, especially with Scotland still to play in their final fixture. For Ireland, the situation is far more demanding. with England waiting for them tomorrow. They know they cannot afford to leave this one without a win. Denmark have also got Scotland to come, so the Irish face by far the hardest route to that second semi-final spot. My name is Ryan Sipple, and I'm delighted to be joined once again by Greg Baxter. 13 games down, Greg. Just another 16 to go.
Oh yes, there's plenty more power chair football coming our way, and I think this is now the case where every Italian game we just look forward to it. We commentate it with a smile on our faces. They have really won the hearts and minds of everyone here. Just playing with such passion, determination. The togetherness in the group is what I love. I spent some time with them last night outside the hotel. They were singing, they were dancing. They all praise head coach Marco Ferrazza. They absolutely adore him. Of course, was their captain, was their leader, their best player. He's sort of stepped away, so to speak. He's become their coach that they just follow. They would follow anywhere. Simone Lanzato has now taken the mantle of captain and has displayed exceptional quality. But this team really do work so hard for each other. For Ireland, well, they had to work together to ground out that 1-0 win against Scotland earlier. They, of course, have already played today. They have possibly got more impetus coming into this game, having already had that opportunity to play together, get off any rustiness from the night before. They need a point here at least, you would feel, heading into that game with England. Although the way games against England have gone so far for some teams, they may fancy their opportunity in that one. They will not want to have to go into that game, though, requiring a win. We'll see just what head coach Adam Crowell and his coaching staff have worked on in the last few hours, taking notes from that victory on player performances, player positioning, more to speak. See just how much they can take into this game against what is going to be a ferocious atmosphere.
I think only France can really say there's no faults. There's very few negatives in their 3 wins. England have had to grind out results in this competition. So we have learned to expect the unexpected. But one of the real standout features of this Nations Cup has been the atmosphere created by the Italian supporters from the opening ceremony right through to today. They've brought noise, colour and energy into the Bella Italia Sports Village. It's not just about the numbers in the stand, it's about the passion. Every pass, every challenge, every goal has been roared on as if it's a final. For a nation marking their debut in a major international tournament, that support has been invaluable. You can see how much it lifts the players, how much it pushes them to compete against Europe's elite, and beyond that, it's been a brilliant advert for the sport itself. Hosting is never easy, but Italy and the Federazione Paralimpica Power Chair Sport have set a standard here. The facilities, the atmosphere, it's been incredible. It's added a real sense of occasion to every single game, and let's hope that quality is replicated across the 2 other World Cup qualifiers coming up, the Asia Oceania Cup, the APO in October, and the America's Cup in Arizona. It's a really exciting time for international power chair football.
Yeah, having all 3 World Cup qualifiers, one after the other, is really unheard of in this sport. Just means that we all get to enjoy a lot of quality power chair football from across the globe as we all gear up and get ready for a World Cup in South America Argentina. Buenos Aires, after their heroic performances in Sydney, I'm sure they cannot wait to perform on home soil like the Italians have done so here, so bravely and so well. Just over 5 minutes to go until kickoff. We have noticed that the teams have come out of the tunnel a lot earlier than they have been during the opening couple of days. Don't know if that's something the coaches have all come together to suggest, or they want more time with the squad on the court, or because it has sometimes felt like a bit of a lull before kickoff, hasn't it, Ryan?
Whilst I agree with the fact there has been lulls in these preparations, I will say that it did feel too quick a turnaround before, so I'm sure there's a sweet spot in the middle that our officials and organisers can find, but we are very much focusing on very small details. If the players and coaches are happy to be out on that court to fine-tune and get sharp, and who are we to disagree with it? One thing is for certain, this will be an incredible game. We highlighted this as one of probably the one to watch, and later this evening the same script of challenging for the second semi-final placement. It means that the matchup between Northern Ireland and Belgium all but decides it in Group A for both. World Cup qualification almost seems non-negotiable, and that's where nations such as Italy have come in and completely defied the odds.
Same story in Group B. Denmark and Ireland, two established nations that expect to be at World Cups, and you now feel that Italy have come in and gone, well, one of you's not going to make it, perhaps.
One thing I really like about this competition, quality aside, is the fact that we've now got powerhouses in the sport. If you reference the mainstream running game, Spain, Germany, Italy, it feels right that they're here competing on this stage. To see the Azzurri wearing the same strip as their professional running game equivalents, it has a real magic about it. Same with Belgium as well. And we're not allowed to pick favourites, but there is a really nice ring about Italy in a World Cup competition.
And should they get there, we've said it between us, like, we could not wait for a game between Italy and a South American side. The battle of passion would just be incredible to watch. They, of course, have got to get there first. They cannot get ahead of themselves and allow themselves to dream too much. And I think they are managing to keep themselves grounded when speaking, certainly to Marco Forazza and Gabriel Mindru last night. They're saying, well, one game at a time, we built it brick by brick. And that's what I love. They're not getting ahead of themselves. They know the job is not done yet. They've had an excellent start. They want that place. They want that place in Argentina.
In a hypothetical matchup, how many cards are being awarded in a Argentina-Italy clash?
I did say at dinner last night, I pity the ref who gets given that game. I know Steve Crump said, bring it on, I'll have it.
That team on your screen now know what it's like to compete in World Cup competitions. They've lost their way in the last few years. It's almost a rebuilding process for the Republic of Ireland. That core you see has been present for at least the last two competitions. Can they reignite that fire that's seen them finish 5th in competitions, established amongst the elite, or we will see the emergence of the newcomers?
There's a song there somewhere in there, Relight My Fire.
Let's go through
Yeah, enough
these
of that, Greg.
starting squads. beginning with the Republic of Ireland. It's the tried and tested four which saw them grind out a result against Scotland. Matt Crowley, Emer O'Sullivan, Tom Donoghue and Eva McNichol, Naglis Montvillas dropped to the bench. Liam Lynch and Sean Donoghue join. And for Italy, tried, tested. It was only ever going to be four players. The ever impressive Emiliano Buccelluzzi. In front of him, captain Simone Ranzato, with wingers of Gabriel Mindru and Giovanni Bernabé Capra, who for many has been a standout.
On your screen there, a lot of work being put into the chair of Gabriel Zoggia on the bench. Try to get him ready to be an option on the bench, to be required to. For Ireland, it's the same tried and tested starting four as the first game, but I just wonder who will play in the middle for Ireland. Will it be Emer O'Sullivan, as has been for their first two games, or like they did in the second half against Scotland, will it be Tom Donoghue, who looked very good, went in the middle, found a few 180 spin passes out to the wing. Wonder if Adam Crowley has picked up on that and has made that slight tactical tweak as the Azzurri come in to get their team talk in front of their fans. Final instructions, a final rallying war cry will follow.
I would very much suspect Thomas Donoghue will feature in the centre. It seemed to shift momentum in their favour against Scotland, but that takes nothing away from the role that Emer O'Sullivan has taken as the Italian supporters in that grandstand pick up the volume. Once it starts, I doubt it will subside, and that's exactly what we want. We have to raise our voices, but that is no problem at all. As long as they maintain that energy, those four Italian players on the court will feed off this atmosphere and energy. Speaking to the England players, they've never experienced an atmosphere like it. So Ireland are in for a real test. As suspected, it looks as if Thomas Donoghue will line up in the centre. The question is, will Italy be a little bit braver in attack? Their performance and their quality has been grounded in their defensive stability. What happens when they commit players forward? Their goal against England, their goal against Denmark have come from breaks and counter-attacks. Can they be free-flowing and attacking and be proactive? As Simone Ranzato straight into Gabriel Mindru, met by Thomas Donoghue, straight into Giovanni Bernabé Capra, and within 10 seconds, Italy register a shot on target.
Yeah, great start from the Italians. They've come flying out the traps. We knew they'd play with tempo, we knew they'd play with aggression. Ireland have got to weather this storm, get through the first few minutes. They cannot afford to suffer, give away an early goal.
Giovanni Bernabé Capra has Simone Ranzato as the closest option, dummies it, intending it for Gabriel Mindru, which caused Bortoluzzi, who is back supporting in attack as he did so against Denmark. So my question has already been answered. They're trying to be proactive and take this game to Ireland, which is exactly what I want to see and shows how versatile they are and how astute they are tactically in adopting different game plans for different oppositions. Simone Ranzato has to be careful as Emer O'Sullivan has an attempt at goal. End-to-end stuff in the opening minute. This could be one of the games of the competition as Ireland win a free kick high up the court. A breathless start.
Strap yourselves in, everyone. We're in for one heck of a ride. This is going to be a high-octane 40 minutes of power chair football.
Thomas Donoghue into Eva McNichol, over to Emer O'Sullivan. Attempts an effort, but off of the back wheel of Simone Ranzato. It must have taken a touch off Emma O'Sullivan before going over the line. So Emiliano Bortoluzzi will resume play with a goal kick. That first goal could be so important. Ranzato is in the centre, closely marked by Thomas Donoghue, who is going to try and attempt an effort at goal. Aoife McNichol has to back off. Contact that from Emiliano Bortoluzzi. And he has pointed to the spot. I think that's definitely the right decision, right in front of those passionate Italian fans. And a rare lapse in concentration and a mistake from the Italian defender, who has been almost faultless in the 2 games he's played so far. So Thomas Donoghue with responsibility. Can he put Ireland in the lead? Mika Wallström blows his whistle. Thomas Donoghue lines to shoot, and Emiliano Bortoluzzi saves the first effort. The danger still present, but it shows how good a defender he is. As Giovanni Bernabé Capra back over to Mindra, who's going to attempt an effort at goal. He goes all the way over the line, tried to make contact to guide it goal bound, but Matt Crowley does well to position himself out of play. Wow.
Emiliano Bortoluzzi has gone from 0 to hero. He had the chance to redeem himself. You have to say it wasn't a great penalty from Thomas Donoghue. The Italians now trying to get themselves in the final third of Ireland. Donoghue has to compose himself and bring the ball away.
This is so open. You can tell both teams are desperate to get on the score sheet.
Mika Wallström apologising to Adam Crowell there. Not giving Ireland the advantage. They were breaking. Then it will be this free kick.
Thomas Donoghue down to Aoife McNichol. It's just pushed towards Bernabé Capra from Ranzato. Look how open it is. He's waiting for an opportunity to be seized from either nation, as Matt Crowley sensibly feints to engage. Otherwise, Bernabé Capra would have dispossessed. And it goes from one end to the next, and vice versa. The most open game we've witnessed so far, and we're only 4.5 minutes in.
Yeah, this is breathless stuff. End to end, absolutely wide open. Loads of space for passing. And they just choose to take that goal kick straight to Ranzato. Driving past Thomas Donoghue, reverses it. Out of play. Adam Crowell really disagreed with that decision. Appealing. Took a touch off Ranzato before it did. Mindru with this kick in. Down to Ranzato.
It goes as far as Thomas Donoghue in the box. Ranzato has Bernabé Capra in support, but has to be careful of his placement. Any further encroachment into that top corner would surely result in a 2-on-1, as Thomas Donoghue desperately tries to relieve pressure on his defence. Emma O'Sullivan now in space, closely marked, as Bernabé Capra just backs off. Nice pass over to Aoife McNichol. Thomas Donoghue takes position on the edge, but very unlikely to find a way through, as now we've got a potential 2-player overload as Mindru fires it off of Thomas Donoghue. Need to watch that back. It was signalled as a 2-on-1 by Mika Wallström, but nothing that I saw would have agreed with that decision, but my focus is solely on that ball, so he may have justification as to the indirect free kick. As Aoife McNichol, nice pick off. Thomas Donoghue trying to set Emma O'Sullivan away. And another standout performer of the competition. Simone Ranzato does beautifully well to just work the space, restrict the passing lanes and keep possession in the Italians' favour. Ranzato to take. Bernabé Capra in the centre. Don't be surprised if he acts as a screen. Contact from Thomas Donoghue, but no movement from Mika Valston, who plays advantage.
This is electric.
It was always going to be just the significance of a potential 3 points here. And whilst continental glory is on the line, it's most likely going to fall to one of France or England in terms of the ultimate champion. So some of these nations are fighting for World Cup qualification. That will be the objective. You don't like to look beyond the present, but being able to say you're traveling to Buenos Aires, Argentina next year is such a huge deal. And that is what is fueling nations underneath the favourites of this competition. But Italy have so much belief, it would not surprise me if they have aspirations of lifting that trophy come Wednesday evening.
8 minutes in, 0-0, but so much has happened. Italy with this kick in. Ranzato, nearly found the gap between Donoghue and Crowley.
It wouldn't have surprised me if that ball had popped due to how tightly it was packed between those two defenders. But they needed to do it because Bernabé Capra, as you have mentioned, would have been at the back post unopposed to put Italy in the lead. It's placed down by Nico Ballin for Thomas Donoghue. Ireland struggling to find a rhythm following that missed penalty. Flicked to Aoife McNichol into Thomas Donoghue, lines up a shot, but Giovanni Bernabé Capra is a complete nuisance, and I mean that in the best sense.
I'm sure he won't mind.
So aggressive, so persistent. Every one of those truly fights for the crest on their chest. And if you could bottle that passion, you would be a very rich person. As Giovanni Bernabé Capra pushes it into the path of Gabriel Mindru, restricted by Thomas Donoghue. And that's a almost needless 2-on-1 awarded to the Italians.
Bernabé Capra with this free kick down to Mindru, blocked by Crowley.
It's a beautiful pass by Bernabé Capra. Fed it through a sea of green to find Ranzato, who tries to do likewise over to Mindru, but Matt Crowley well positioned, and a well-deserved, much-needed water break gives our two nations an opportunity to assess that first 10 minutes. If you're Adam Crowell and part of the Ireland setup, probably disappointment is the overarching emotion due to that missed penalty. An opportunity to take an advantage. If you're Italy, maybe frustrated that you haven't had much territory or attacking chances in the 10 minutes, but we have so much football left to be played. It will only add fuel to the fire and give them something to focus on. You see in that penalty save by Bortoluzzi, it was very telegraphed. Not just Thomas Donoghue's shot, but the advancement of Bortoluzzi. I would have really liked to have seen Thomas Donoghue aim to the back of Bortoluzzi, because it's far harder for him to reverse in trying to save the penalty than easily driving forward. But that will be a lesson that they learn from.
See, I'm going to slightly disagree with you here, Ryan. I don't mind him aiming to that corner, because Bortoluzzi had sat himself closer to his right-hand side. If that penalty is in the corner from Donnelly, Bortolucci does not save it. As well as Bortolucci has done, you have to say it is a poor penalty from Tom Donnelly because the space was to that side.
Play will resume with a very advanced kick in for Bernabe Capra. He nearly finds that gap once again as Aoife McNichol pushes it into Simone Ranzato. Did Emer O'Sullivan vacate quick enough? It seems as if she did. Now, the two number 10s just playing it off one another. Aoife McNichol currently has the momentum of the ball, but Ranzato is so clever in just moving his chair away at the last moment, entice McNichol in and win the goal kick. He is such a good player that we both highlighted prior to the competition taking place as the one to watch. But that title can be applied to any one of those starting 4 players. All of them would have a case for player of the tournament because they are massively exceeding expectations.
Ranzato down the line to Bernabe Capra. Tom Donnelly out towards McNichol, too close to Bernabe Capra. Comes to Crowley, brilliant ball out to Emer O'Sullivan. In the middle to Aoife McNichol, and Ranzato misses the ball, is lucky not to collide with McNichol. Kick in for Italy. That's beautiful distribution by Matt Crowley.
It is completely relieved pressure as Simone Ranzato, once again, the utilisation of his chair to just use the momentum of the ball, which he obviously suspected was going goal bound, to just move away, let it go all the way through. He is such a clever player. I hope that translates over the stream. I've said away from commentary, I need 3 good performances from Italy to let me know that they can compete with the elite. You can get lucky on occasions, but the consistency they've now shown across nearly 2.5 games tells me everything I need to know about the long-term prospects of this nation as a powerhouse on the international stage. It is not fluke, it is not luck, it is sheer quality. And now Giovanni Bernabe Capra will have a chance to impart some of that quality. Out to Gabriel Mindru into the box. The initial distribution was beautiful. And now again, he finds that channel. But Gabriel Mindru just wasn't expecting it. Giovanni Bernabe Capra, welcome to the international stage. What a player.
Yes, he is so good, isn't he? He really has just caught us all unaware of just how good he was as a power chair footballer. He's seamlessly fitted into this Italian team. Perhaps he's been that last little missing piece they may have needed. I don't know how long he's been eligible to play for.
Not long at all. He was sorting out eligibility and passport while the Club World Cup was going on in June, so it was last minute stuff with I think the clubs, the nations needing to submit their squads around June, July. So no, it's great to see, and he is one of the most talented people I think I have ever met on and off the court. Simone Ranzato tries to put it in his path, but something that Matt Crowley has done brilliantly across this competition, relieve pressure on his defence with really accurate distribution. Yes, it's not going to an Ireland player, but it's taking the ball away from his goal.
Yeah, he's really impressed me, Matt Crowley. Tom Donnelly fires out forward. Again, this time he goes for the 180. I think the 90 spin would have been better. Matt Crowley, again, a beautiful pass out of Emer O'Sullivan. Just composure from the young Republic of Ireland goalkeeper. Ranzato drives him at the post. There is a gap. It's been blocked now by Tom Donnelly. He's got Mindru in support in the middle, should he require it. Emer O'Sullivan now a chance for Italy on the counter-attack. Aoife McNichol just didn't get the spin right. O'Sullivan still alive here for Ireland. Donnelly blocked by Mindru. Crowley, that pass straight to Mindru. Ranzato, Mindru, 2-on-1. Surely.
Yeah, it's truly unbelievable stuff. The pace, the intensity, end-to-end nature of it. It's everything we wanted it to be and more. Had Aoife McNichol connected with it, she would have had a clear sight at goal. But they're both playing with a level of jeopardy, which is facilitate this open attacking football like nothing we've seen in the competition's 13 games so far. Emer O'Sullivan. Once again, I want to commend the efforts of Matt Crowley. His distribution starts those moves for the Republic of Ireland. And that free kick gets one of the loudest applause from the Republic of Ireland fans. Only got a few minutes left of this first half. Can they do something to put themselves in the ascendancy? We shall soon see. He's looking at Emer O'Sullivan. It's very telegraphed to Emer O'Sullivan, and now Giovanni Bernabé Capra switches wings. Gabriel Mindru's not going to catch up to it, but the intent, the execution is there from the number 13.
Telegraphed and poorly executed. That free kick far too close to Simone Ranzato. Emer O'Sullivan had no chance. Donoghue, that ball goes straight to Ranzato. Fired. Cleared by Crowley.
He's been their best player, the Republic of Ireland, Matt Crowley. Tom Donoghue trying to locate Emer O'Sullivan, even if it made its way past Simone Ranzato. Too much pace. I know there is a tendency to want to hit it as hard as possible, but sometimes that can work against you, as it did on that occasion. He's lucky to come away with the kick in. Misses it at the first chance of asking. Connects with the second as Bernabé Capra just cushions it into Ranzato's path. Just a second late in reacting, the Italian captain.
What you would say is Simone Ranzato takes this kick in for Italy. Emer O'Sullivan cutting that out and winning a kick in. Ireland will be the first team, if it stays as it is, to go in at half-time level with Italy,
Yeah,
not behind.
Fantastic assessment. If this maintains the intensity in the second, this will take the title of the best game so far. Because there has been quality, but attack is cancelling out defence, defence is cancelling out attack. It's waiting for a moment of magic. Can Ireland find it? Approaching the final minute, we'll of course observe at least one additional minute to factor in that water break. Bernabé Capra playing it off. Thomas Donoghue, who can't wrap his chair around it. Sensible play.
I'd like to see some more creativity from Ireland with that kick in. The angle was never going to get through the wall to Aoife McNichol at the back post because she was marked by Gabriel Mindru. Just need to think about something different there. As Ranzato, that is excellently guided across the Mindru's front bumper. Was not quite on the money. O'Sullivan, her front bumper. The Donoghue just lacks the pace to get all the way to number 7. 2-on-1 given in favour.
Yeah, something I wanted to highlight is the fact that Gabriel Mindru has been so isolated that he hasn't quite got up to the pace of the game. So if and when he's been called upon, it has fragmented slightly, but that's my only criticism of this Italian performance. He's going to want to ensure that any subsequent and following involvements are more effective in keeping possession and mounting an attack. Emer O'Sullivan, the clear target. Once again, very telegraphed, but it needs that initial distribution to be accurate. You can see what Emer O'Sullivan is trying to do. She's trying to meet it with her front bumper back in to Thomas Donoghue in the centre. But if we can see it, the Italian players can see it. So he has to be so assured, so accurate in that initial distribution if they're going to have any success from it. We've seen unpredictability turn to success across some of our nations. Don't underestimate how big a trait it is in the success of wider teams. Feinting and deceiving, such an important part of this amazing sport. Simone Ranzato, 22 minutes on the clock, trying to break, beautifully pickpocketed by Emo O'Sullivan, but unfortunately unable to keep it in. What a first half of football we've just seen, played at a relentless pace, full of intensity, and with both sides giving absolutely everything. Ireland had the golden chance to take the lead from the penalty spot, but Thomas Donoghue couldn't convert, and that may well prove a pivotal moment in this contest. Since then, it's been Italy who have looked the brighter and more threatening. They've moved the ball quickly, pressed with energy, and created openings, constantly knocking on the door as the half wore on. The hosts have shown why they've impressed so many in this tournament already. But for all their pressure, they've not yet found a breakthrough. Ireland, meanwhile, have worked tirelessly to keep themselves in the game. They've had to soak up long spells of Italian possession, but they're still right in this. And that resilience could be vital as the match goes on. Goalless at the break, but the tempo we've seen, you feel this game is building towards a very decisive moment. Join myself, Ryan Tipple, and Greg Baxter for the second half shortly. We're just about ready for the second half here in Lignano, and it's finally balanced 0-0. The first half gave us pace, intensity and plenty of drama. Ireland missing a penalty through Thomas Donoghue, and the Azzurri looking the sharper side, constantly knocking on the door. For Ireland, Matt Crowley's distribution has been vital. He's been composed under pressure, picking passes to relieve the defensive line and give his side a foothold in the game. Italy, though, have had the standout performer so far in Giovanni Bonabe Capra. His energy, positioning and drive have been superb, embodying the fearlessness we've come to expect from the hosts in this tournament. Truly a remarkable performance. Who met with him, many people will know his talents and would have heard his voice on commentary. And just as I'm saying that, I can see that Marco Ferrazza has brought him off. So we're going to see Gabriele Zoggia feature for what I think is the first time this competition. I could be wrong, and if I am, I apologise, but I only really recall Arini Infantino featuring in their game against Denmark. We've played so much football since then, so my memory may fail me, but it is Gabriele Zoggia on in place of Giovanni Bonabe Capra, the standout of the first half. Will that change prove instrumental in Italy putting themselves in a strong position to tie up second? The thumbs up from Emiliano Butaluzzi and Matt Crowley. And Mika Valston blows the whistle to allow Thomas Donoghue and the Republic of Ireland to get this second half underway.
Yeah, it's typical, isn't it? You build up a player and then they get brought off. Interesting decision by Marco Ferrazza.
I agree. If I was to bring a player off, it would have probably been Gabriel Mindru, but I suspect that comes as a result of classification. But saying that, I can see the PF1 stickers of Mindru, Ranzato and Bortoluzzi. So it is obviously just a tactical switch up.
It's the first time we've really seen Marco Ferrazza roll the dice, make a big tactical switch.
Everyone has been deeming him and dubbing him a mastermind at tactics, and I've learned not to question it. As Zoggia gets his first involvement, he was very important to their grounding and foundation as a nation. He featured heavily in the EPFA Cup 2022 and the EPFA Four Nations in 2023, so he has competed at international level, albeit not at a major tournament. So I have no doubt he will slot into the pace, and Ireland are pressuring early on. Bortoluzzi, the coolest and calmest customer in all of Italy, never looks phased, and now a real break on Gabriele Zoggia. Really disappointing. A needless pass that goes all the way back to his keeper. What could have been a splitting crossfield ball to Gabriel Mindru turns into an immediate defence. But that's what happens when you're brought into a game and a pace of a competition that you not yet experienced, as Thomas Donoghue has a real effort at goal and it's flicked off his chair eventually. A very frantic, uncharacteristic passage of play for the Italians.
Where has this been from Ireland so far? Much, much better. Beautiful combination play between Donoghue, O'Sullivan. The pass from Donoghue just a little bit too close to Ranzato, but they'll be more than encouraged with how they've started this second half. Ferrazza will be paying a close attention to Gabriele Zoggia. Not been the best start for the sub. Good flick from Nicola. I'd like to see Emma O'Sullivan stay in reverse. She wouldn't have lost the speed by turning, and she probably would have got on the end of that ball from the Ireland number 10.
Zoggia. Blocked by Ranzato. Captain trying to find the best option in attack. Just tries to trap the ball between himself and Thomas Donoghue. Goal kick. The decision. 3 minutes in. The pace has not subsided even a little bit. It's Bortoluzzi as the goal kick. A very high press from Ireland. So it'll be hard for Bortoluzzi to find an accurate ball and an Italian bumper, but if he's able to, you could suspect a break on. Ireland, remember, need these points more than Italy, relatively speaking, of course. A draw here would play into the hands of Denmark, who play Scotland tomorrow.
Yeah, you'd say a draw favours Denmark, also probably favours the Italians more than it does the Irish, given the relative fixtures coming up. Ireland facing England, Italy facing Scotland. Of course, a draw here really needs no benefit to Ireland. 2-on-1's given in favour of Italy.
Yeah, that is the decision, but I would have liked to have seen a little bit more purpose and direction on that front bumper pick-up from Gabriele Zoggia. It was almost a hit and hope. Simone Ranzato with the indirect free kick. Gabriel Mindru, the clear intended target for the captain. And it's cleared by Thomas Donoghue, who exchanges some nice passes with his two wingers. Sensible stuff from Emer O'Sullivan. And that's unlucky. I think there is some appeals as to the way Remy Simon, the assistant on that side, has awarded that. Ireland back in possession as Emer O'Sullivan would have liked to see them in reverse. Good work from Simone Ranzato. It's world-class play to just dribble his way past Thomas Donoghue while maintaining the pace and the momentum of the ball in his favour. Gabriel Mindru into the space. Angled into the centre by Emer O'Sullivan. 2-on-1. A little bit of respite for the Irish. Looks as if Naglis Montvillas is being ready to come on. I would suspect it has to be for Aoife McNicholl, unless they switch that central player to Emer O'Sullivan. It's a lineup we've been calling for. Emer O'Sullivan in the centre, a pairing of wingers of Aoife McNicholl and Naglis Montvillas, but it hasn't yet materialised. Emer O'Sullivan.
I think this is going to be Emer O'Sullivan coming off. I think she's asked to come off. I saw a conversation with Adam Crowell. She's asked to come off. She's something not quite right. Maybe she's not feeling well or not feeling it.
Yeah,
like she's putting in her best performance.
Let's get that assessment after, but it's a good opportunity for Naglis Montvillas. This game is on a knife edge. He's come in straight away, tussling off the ball with Gabriele Zoggia. As Aoife McNicholl fires it into the Irish substitutes. The noise starts to pick up. It rolls diagonally across the court. Italy haven't had much territory in the last 5 or 6 minutes. So they'll want to build that pace and momentum again. It can't be a coincidence that we've seen this bright spell from Ireland since Giovanni Bonabe Capra was taken off for Zoggia. Into McNicholl. A risky pass into the centre. Has a lot of pace. You can see the brilliant driving skills of Naglish Montvillas. He kind of went out to come in, arc his chair round the ball to keep it in play. He's a master at the utilisation of his chair. Aoife McNichol's going to have to switch wings. She was fortunate there. She got caught ball watching, and had it advanced any further, it would have been the most pointless, needless 2-on-1 ever. Fortunately for Ireland, they're the ones that come away with the free kick. Naglish Montvillas rooted into that top corner, but quickly closed by Simone Ranzato into Gabriel Mindru. Strong play from Thomas Donaher there. Put himself in the firing line, not once, but twice. Did not want to yield possession. I know Nico Ballin and Mika Valston are communicating. I think Mindru is the aggressor there. I think it was really sensible play from Thomas Donaher, and that is the way it is awarded. Good stuff from the Ireland number 7.
This has been for all the talk because we love Italy, all the talk we've given them and all the hype and build-up. This has been a really great performance from Ireland.
Yeah, very much so.
They're matching Italy, who were 1-0 up against England and really demolished Denmark. There's confusion there between Ranzato and Donaher. The free kick from Donaher straight at Mindru. That ball from Frawley straight at Mindru. The ball on was to Montvillas on the other side.
Yeah, I agree with your assessment. Ireland the better of the two in this second half, but can they make it count? I think Italy know Ireland need to chase this game. They need 3 points, and that is just playing into their hands. Bortoluzzi with rare presence in the Ireland half. We saw it across the first 20, but I think this is only the first time we've seen it in the second. We'll surely observe a water break prior to this being taken. They may wait. So Gabriel Mindru to take. Congested box. Dare he go back to Bortoluzzi? We see some of the great nations do that. And a second successive corner. The decision.
Tom Donaher isn't 5 metres here. He's well in front of that 5 metre mark. The free kick's been given for encroachment.
The Italian supporters in song on the far side. Can they spur on a goal here? Simone Ranzato to take. Gabriel Mindru is very condensed. I suspect it will be over to Gabriel Mindru, but Zoggi is going to have to back off quickly if Mindru attacks the ball in the centre. There's a big gap behind Thomas Donaher, which I suspect he will try and close as soon as this is taken. It's of course indirect. Simone Ranzato to take. He's feinting, trying to draw Thomas Donaher out. Into Gabriel Mindru, who fires it goal bound. Brilliant defence from Thomas Donaher. A little bit of height on the ball. It settles in the end. But again, we have to commend the defensive efforts and the overall performance from Ireland. They've had a shaky start to the EPFA Nations Cup. Defeat to Denmark, arguably against the run of play. And a gritty performance against Scotland. They could easily be on 6 points now, but they find themselves chasing Italy in the standings as Mindru flicks the ball out for a corner ball. And surely we will now observe the second half water break.
Really impressed with Ireland. This is an Italian team that have shown no let-up in their quest to surprise everyone and get a ticket to Argentina. I mean, England at this point had only just equalised against the Italians Ireland have more than matched them. I don't know if that's because there's extra footage available to them to watch. Italy are less of a unknown quantity now. Or if they've just raised their... I think they've raised their performance level, though, to match the Italians. They knew what they were coming into atmosphere-wise. They are not shirking away from that responsibility whatsoever. And they will look to go and see if they can get that goal that would give them a much, much needed 3 points. And really throw another spanner in the works, so to speak, in Group B.
That it absolutely would. You can see how intense those team talks are. Can't necessarily see it on that angle. I wonder whether Marco Verratti looks to his bench.
The Zoggia change has not worked for me. Giovanni Bernabé-Capra was...
No, I agree. But it's unfair to expect Zoggia to come in and make an immediate impact when the intensity and pace is so great. Marco Verratti has looked to his bench, so we're going to see Youssef Ali feature for the first time in place of Gabriel Mindru, who hasn't hit the heights that he has laid in the games prior. He was an absolute standout in that game against England, cutting out their passing patterns. But because Ireland are such a different threat, they're less attacking than the European holders. It doesn't necessarily suit his game. Crowley once again with beautiful distribution, and Naglismon Villas is going to get an opportunity wide of the right hand post. The best opportunity of the game so far, and Ireland should be 1-0 up. It starts at Matt Crowley, down to Aoife McNicholl, who just slots the ball diagonally out to her alternate winger. But the effort millimetres wide.
Oh my word. That was so close. What a move from one end to the other. That just epitomises the football Adam Crowell wants this Ireland side to play. He was millimetres away from giving his side the lead.
It's a clear 2-on-1 there. Thomas Donoghue and Aoife McNicholl. When they switch positions and Aoife McNicholl takes a more central role, it takes her a little bit of time to get that awareness. Over to Zoggia. That's a much better pass, but as was the case with his introduction at the half-time break, the same grace period can almost be applied to Youssef Ali, who's just not up to the pace of the competition, and that's no slight on him. That's a testament to the level this football is being played at.
Ireland, wow, so close. There, Bortoluzzi just telling Mika Wallstein, Ireland need to stop time wasting. I don't know if Ireland really want to time waste, do they?
No, they need the point. We have to reiterate that. It would take it completely out their hands, and they would also need to get 3 points against England. With England having qualified, maybe we'll see them experiment, bring in the likes of Ethan Fisher and Tyler Reid to put valuable minutes in the squad as a whole. I think they've locked up top position, so they have that freedom and flexibility. Will that play into Ireland's hands? I don't know. But still, Ireland will want to ensure they're in the best possible position to secure second, and that starts with 3 points here. They should have got the lead in the first half via that Thomas Donoghue penalty miss, and in the second, the best opportunity in open play we've observed this game, when Naglismon Villas kissed that right-hand post. It's a great atmosphere.
There's no angle here for the ball through to Aoife McNicholl. I feel like Ranzato is just going to be able to cut it out before it gets to her.
Thomas Donaher, you're absolutely right. There's no real angle on this. It's not good. If it meets Naglais Montvillas, which it does, it's only going to do that ricochet into the path of Emiliano Bertoluzzi. Strong play from Ranzato, and now just pushes it down this right-hand wing. Taken by Donaher. Good pick-off from McNichol. Almost a wayward pick-off in the centre from Donaher. McNichol, there's a gap there. Finds Naglais Montvillas, who swings and misses. Gabriele Zoggia past Donaher. 2-on-1 in favour of the Republic of Italy. To be taken by Simone Ranzato. We are approaching the final minute of the game. The Danes will be watching on and will be happy with this result. They're behind that goal. You can probably see them when the camera pans to the right. Every single squad member is looking to see what Group B will look like following the conclusion.
Forgive me, will the Danish not more be cheering on an Ireland winner, perhaps? Because a point here for Italy and a win against Scotland puts them, I think,
I think it then comes down to goal difference, doesn't it?
But am I forgetting a result for Denmark that would... we can work it out later on.
No, I think you're right. If it comes down to head-to-head, they will have bragging rights over Italy. So I think they will, yeah, very much so.
This would put Italy on 4.
Yes.
Then a win against Scotland puts them on 7. Denmark only on 3 currently.
They are.
And so a win against Scotland would only put them on 6.
Yeah, very good point.
Denmark needed an Ireland winner here, and then hope that Ireland lose to England.
Strong play from Simone Ranzato. It's completely off the court. Mika Walton is getting some strong appeals from Simone Ranzato. And we're going to get a very late substitution.
I think Marco Ferrazza has been more than comfortable and has decided to just rotate the squad and give game time. He is banking on them winning against Scotland.
Yeah.
And he's gone, you know what, we're happy with the point, we'll just rotate and give game time to the players that haven't played as much.
If that is the case and they see out this scoreline, it could be a masterclass, because that Scotland game is going to be fiery, but you would put them as favourites as Gabriele Torcuti comes on for his first feature of the EFA Nations Cup. It's time wasting, strong appeals as Yusuf Ali tests the goalkeeper, and at the back post for his first involvement is Gabriele Torcuti. You're seeing how animated those Italian coaches are. Unbelievable stuff in the dying embers of this game.
Wow, Torcuti could have made himself a hero with his first touch in the game. Montvillas needs to stay in reverse. He has won himself an inside kick in. Donaher with the ball. I don't know if Ireland realised just how much they need this 3 points, as that goes out of play for a very, very late corner. What a game this is. It says 0-0 on the scoreline. That does not tell half the story of how incredible this game has been. Ethan McNichol needs to go on the edge of the box. Needs to start on the edge of the box here, because if this gets dummy to the far post, she wants to be in the right position to get it in that corner. Donaher. Montvillas doesn't get to McNichol. Ranzato drives clear. Down towards Torcuti. Free kick given against Ranzato. And this sports hall feels like it's about to erupt. That has been met with disdain from the Italian fans, the Italian bench. And again, one last chance for Ireland.
Yeah, they're going to have to make up a lot of ground to turn this into a real attack. Italy are nothing if not defensively sound.
But at the minute, it's a free kick to Ireland, and they're 2v3.
Pushed into the path of McNichol, you can see the intent, but it is full time here in Lignano, and it finishes Ireland 0, Italy 0. A game full of intensity, drama, and missed chances. An incredible advert for the sport of power chair football. For Ireland, it was without doubt their best performance of the tournament so far. They defended with real discipline. Montvillas struck the post late, and they went toe-to-toe with one of the most impressive sides we've seen this week. But the reality is, while the performance was hugely encouraging, the result may not be enough. With just one group game left against England, the reigning European champions, Ireland now face the toughest challenge of all. To keep their semi-final and World Cup qualification hopes alive, they'll need to find something truly special tomorrow. For Italy, meanwhile, the story is very different. Two strong results today already, a famous win over Denmark, pushing England all the way, and another point here. And crucially, their final group fixture is against Scotland, who sit bottom of the group without a point. On paper, that plays directly into Italy's hands. A win there would almost certainly see them secure passage into the semi-finals, and with it, a ticket to Argentina in 2026. Thank you to everyone that has tuned in. The ever-impressive Giovanni Bernabe Capra is with Piero for interview.
Here we are. The crowd is still very noisy, but we will try our best to have an interview. So, we are again with Mr. Giovanni Bernabe Capra. Giovanni, I believe this was one of the most tense matches we had. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it was tense. I think, Ireland played really well. I mean, what I think also the referees have been really fair in that game. I think we didn't play the way we played yesterday or the day before yesterday. There were, some kind of basics that were not on the pitch. That's what I think. And I think we'll have a pretty big discussion about to fix this, because this is not, to my part, I don't accept this result.
Yeah, I feel very sorry for this. Must be quite frustrating, especially because you guys put up so much work and you were hoping to get a better result. At the same time, the pressure is big, so I'm pretty sure you guys must feel it. But I believe you can do better and you will learn from this experience as well. What do you think you can work on for next match?
Yeah, there's I don't know, to be honest, I won't talk that much about what we can improve. I think this is something that we need to keep private, so maybe tomorrow Scotland is not ready for what we will improve. But I hope next time we'll come with a better style of playing and maybe also a better strategy that will make everybody win. Everybody in Italy win, of course.
Yeah, great. I wish you the same, man. Take a good rest, you will need it, and come back tomorrow.
Thank you.
Very nice. Thanks. Giovanni, here we go. And now we will welcome a lady from Ireland. Hello. Please come. Can you tilt a little bit? Yes. Thank you very much. All right. So, I guess we are with Miss... Sorry. Here we go. I guess we are with Miss Aoife, do I pronounce your name?
Yes, Aoife, yeah.
McNichol. I had to make some research for that because I'm like, what is this? All right. So, as I said to the other guy from Italy, it was quite a tense match.
Yeah.
Both teams were a little bit afraid, I believe, because everybody is really looking forward, going on to the next step. How did you feel after the match?
I think it was a great game. We really enjoyed it. It was end to end. For us, I think we created some good chances, maybe a little unlucky at times not to finish, but we are very happy with the performance. I think we played very well today.
Absolutely. I'm glad for you guys. How about the next step? What are you looking forward to? What you guys can work on for the next matches?
So we have England tomorrow, I believe, so we know that's going to be a tough game. They're the current European champions, but we'll take a lot from the game today. We'll learn a lot and from the game this morning, and we'll be as prepared as possible for England tomorrow.
All right. There was the first game for Ireland against Italy.
Yes.
Correct?
Yeah.
So how was it to play with the Italian team?
It was good. Yeah, it was really good. They're a new team, so we didn't really know what to expect coming in. But there's a lot of history there between Ireland and Italy, Italian 90 as well. So, so it was a good game. It was a good game.
Thank you so much. I wish you the best for the next games.
Okay.
And also take a good rest.
Thank you.
You deserve it.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Thank also to Aoife. I will see you at the last game very soon. See ya.